former Ticat Justin Medlock to kick it off, and we are underway from Calgary. Frankie Williams tossed down as he crossed the 30-yard line. 18 yards on the return, and here comes Dane Evans. What a story he has been. First-year starter making his Grey Cup debut.
Here we go.
Big numbers in the Eastern Final. He's averaged 385 passing yards in his last 8 starts. And they'll hand it off inside. Tyrell Sutton getting just his 5th start of the year for Hamilton, and he pounds it across the 40 up to the 42.
26-year-old Dane Evans will have a great receiving core. His weapons, the leader in that group is Brandon Banks, the MOP in the Canadian Football League this year. Over 1,500 yards receiving for Brandon Banks. The outstanding lineman, Chris Van Zyl at right tackle.
3 CFLPA All-Stars on that offensive line. They get the first down on Sutton's 2nd consecutive carry. And a tackle by Willie Jefferson. Into tempo early, and Evans to pass for the first time. Guns it over the middle, and it's intercepted off the hands of Jalen Ackland, and Brandon Alexander, the safety, with a takeaway for Winnipeg.
First start in the championship game for 26-year-old Dane Evans. He's played in big games at college, but this is his first, and you can see the miscue from the get-go because there was no play-action fake. The ball just outside of Ackland's hands, and the first turnover and sudden change of this game. A little shallow corner route. Safety that took over at about the halfway point in Brandon Alexander makes the first big play on defense.
7 takeaways in the first 2 playoff games. A little inside toss, and here's Janarian Grant on the sweep, getting to the edge, and has a Winnipeg first down. Bumped up by Richard Leonard.
Winnipeg Blue Bombers from the left of your screen. Janarian Grant gets the first touch offensively. They'll use the entire field in their run game. You'll see the ball rushed by Andrew Harris, Chris Strebler, Nick Dembski in this one tonight.
Got 11 and a first down into Ticat territory. And the hitch here to Dembski. Winnipeg native is brought down after a short gain. Leonard steps up on him.
Quite the journey for Zach Collaros this season. Started the season with the Saskatchewan Roughriders in play 3 in the first game of the regular season. Knocked out by Simone Lawrence. More on that as this game goes on. Traded to Toronto, eventually to Winnipeg. Played the last game of the regular season. A win against the Calgary Stampeders, and is 2-0 in the playoffs as a Bomber.
2nd and 9. First Collaros pass, if he gets it off under pressure, and it's caught, but dropped behind the line of scrimmage. There's Simone Lawrence with the tackle on Andrew Harris, and a headbutt from Harris that goes without a penalty, and the punt team comes on.
Well, this is the finalist for the outstanding defensive player in the league, and Simone Lawrence just hustling. I mean, he's a guy who had, in the first game between these two teams in the regular season, 17 tackles by himself. He gets an early one here in the Grey Cup. And no love lost between the two teams.
So no flag there, but that might be the last time something like that goes.
Yeah, there's your warning. There's your warning.
Medlock kicking outside the numbers, and Frankie Williams back to around the 25. A 42-yard punt by Medlock, so no blood drawn on the first possessions of the game.
A couple keys for each team. When we take a look at the Hamilton Tiger Cats, those explosion plays. Dane Evans had 21 pass plays over 30 yards, 18 of them to Brandon Banks and Braylon Addison, and stop the run on defense. Winnipeg, the #1 rushing team. Success on first down, whether they throw it or run it for the Bombers, is important, and they've created turnovers all season, and they already have one early in this Grey Cup.
Ticats the highest scoring team this year. number 1 in yards from scrimmage, number 1 in passing yards. Bombers number 1 against the run. Ticats start at the 25, play action fake, and Evans in trouble. Jackson Jeffcoat crashing down, a sack but a flag at the end of the play. Three sacks for the Bombers in the Western Final. Didn't have one here at McMahon against Calgary.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness. Winnipeg number 5. A 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the previous line of scrimmage and a first down.
Michael Shea doesn't like this call. It's a elbow to the head by Willie Jefferson and the forearm to the head on Dane Evans. Correct call on the field by the officials.
Well, it's a first down at the 40. Here comes the rush again, and they get him the ball down, and still loose, and Big Hill's got it inside the 15. The rush of the Bombers getting to Evans on back-to-back plays, and it's the second consecutive takeaway. Well, Jefferson, who led the CFL in forced fumbles, has done it again.
Yeah, the outstanding defensive player in the Canadian Football League was handed the hardware. On Thursday at the award show. Willie Jefferson gets home from that outside. Inside fake, comes around the corner, strips Dane Evans of the ball. 2 turnovers in back-to-back series by the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. And they're in the green zone.
Well, that in one play is why he's the top defensive player in the league. Here's Andrew Harris, big hole. Harris, goal line, touchdown. $15-yard touchdown run for Andrew Harris, his second career Grey Cup major.
The leading rusher in the Canadian Football League. 3 years in a row, Andrew Harris has been the rushing leader in the CFL. And boy, he had a jump to his step on this first carry to cross the goal line. Sudden change, points off turnovers, so important when it comes to winning and losing. And the Bombers on the board first.
So 2 of the Bombers' biggest stars shine early. Jefferson and Harris. Justin Medlock adds the convert. And the Bombers strike first. Under 4 minutes in. So the Winnipeg Blue Bombers have 9 takeaways in the postseason. And the fumble recovery by Adam Bighill sets up the Andrew Harris 15-yard touchdown.
It's been a quiet playoff run for Andrew Harris. Semifinal versus Calgary and the final in Saskatchewan. Maybe tonight's his night.
Again, Frankie Williams from inside his 5. And he gets it back across the 30, stepping up.
Boy, Andrew Harris gets some help, Chris, from the guys blocking for him. First of all, from the receiving core, Rasheed Bailey, who started late in the year, gets the kick out. And Stanley Bryant, who was the nominee for Winnipeg, is going to get to the second level on Simone Lawrence. So well-executed play right at the point of attack. And look at the hole that Andrew Harris has off that left side for the first points of this football game.
Ticats start at the 30. They swing it to Brandon Pinks. Makes the first man miss, and Speedy B with the first down. As we set the Winnipeg defense for you.
Well, he set a record for knockdowns and was the outstanding defensive player. Already made a play on the strip here in this one. Willie Jefferson leads the D-line. In the linebacking core, the emotional leader is Adam Bighill. When he talks in the huddle, they all listen. And in the back end, Winston Rose led the league in interceptions, had one in the West Final. He'll go up against Brandon Banks tonight. We'll watch that matchup closely.
15 for the MOP, Brandon Banks. First down, 45. Evans steps up, hit, open is Banks, and Brandon Banks is down inside the Winnipeg 40.
You just get the sense that Dane Evans has settled down. You know, he must have felt some nerves coming into the first championship game. His first year as a starter. That first throw to Ackland was just a little outside. It was intercepted, and now they've settled down. A couple of mistakes can do that. Get him out of the way early.
But this defense is fired up. Jake Thomas. Jackson Jeffcoat at a loss of close to 5.
All-star offensive line in this matchup, and you'll get a lot of different looks from Richie Hall's group. He's the defensive coordinator.
And Banks on the sidelines. 2nd and 14. Here comes pressure. Evans pulls it down, takes off, and gets cut down around the 37-yard line. Winston Rose from his quarterback spot with the tackle, and the field goal unit will come on.
Really a drive for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, Chris, just to get their feet under them, and the best team in the league with 15 wins all season long. Behind the 8 ball early here.
44-yard attempt. Whatever wind there is now, as it has diminished, will be at the back of Hagalahu. And he nails it. Ticats are on the board. Midway through the opening quarter. Been eventful early here at McMahon. Bombers won the Western semifinal here 2 weeks ago, 35-14. 20-13 winners last week in the West Final at Mosaic. Ticats won the 2 regular season meetings. Winnipeg starts at their 35 after the field goal. Polaris on a roll, going to air it out here. Downfield and coming back for it. It's a great catch by Kenny Lawler at the Ticat 45.
Zach Collaros has brought the big play back to the offense. Chris Streveler's the running quarterback, the two-headed monster, and it's Lawler on the corner route from that number 2 spot, and he's going to just win the battle when he wins the jump ball on a 30-yard gain. Zach Collaros with a nice throw on the corner route, bringing his receiver back to the football.
Lawler a touchdown in the Western Final. Collaros now 7 of 11 on passes of over 20 yards in the postseason. Here's Harris trying to jump cut it outside, but nothing doing. And there is Dylan Wynn on the tackle.
Andrew Harris led the league in rushing yards. He led in the 10-yard plus category with 40 runs over 10 yards, 100-yard games. He had 5 of them. Again, the CFL leader. There's Stanley Bryan at left tackle, the nominee and Western All-Star for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Lost to Chris Van Zyl in the awards by 2 votes. Last year's winner.
And a winner in the Grey Cup against Hamilton in 2014 with Calgary. 2nd and 11. And they'll dump it off. Here's Harris putting his head down, and he is drilled at the 40. Well short of the first down. Carriel Brooks the tackle. And now the field goal unit comes on. And we watched the kickers at this end of the field, 45-50, seem to be comfortable.
Well, I'm not going to for a second complain about the weather in Calgary in late November, because it's been outstanding for Grey Cup week, and I don't see it being much of a factor here tonight. The wind will slowly die as the night goes on. And bit of a breeze in the face of Medlock right now.
Brandon Banks is back, and Medlock misses a 47-yarder. And he has. Banks has returned 2 for touchdowns. Is he coming out? No. He'll take a knee, and it's 8-3 for Winnipeg. What's been coined the Drought Bowl. Winnipeg trying to avoid matching the longest Grey Cup drought ever. The Argos from 53 to 83.
When you break down the Winnipeg roster, there are 30 players on the active roster tonight that weren't born the last time the Winnipeg Blue Bombers won the championship.
Ticats take over at the 40, the spot where the line of scrimmage on the missed field goal. Tyrell Sutton, tough man to break down. Braylon Addison with the carry up to the 48-yard line, and a guy we will see in that backfield, not just a receiver, and he fights for 9.
Well, it's tough to get low leverage as a tackler on Braylon Addison. He's a big play receiver down the field, but he had 36 carries for a nice 6-yard average, so he is part of the rush offense for the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
And now Sutton pounds for the first down. It's 5 first downs in the opening quarter so far for Dane Evans' group. Nikola Kalinic checks in. The rookie fullback out of York. First down and again Sutton. And Sutton bounces off first contact. Another first down run for Tyrell Sutton. The safety Brandon Alexander and Marcus Sales bring him down.
7th year in the Canadian Football League for Tyrell Sutton. 6-yard average and limited action for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, but you know he's hungry.
13 on the previous carry. That one contained. Big Hill steps up.
Had a great conversation with offensive coordinator Tommy Condell, who I think is maybe the best kept secret in the Canadian Football League. Worked with guys like Ricky Ray and Zach Collaros at other times, but told me that with Dane Evans, the one thing that has impressed him more than anything is the fact that when he makes a mistake, he doesn't make the same mistake twice. And Dane Evans will learn from that shaky start.
2nd and 9. Bombers shows a 3-man front, send an extra man, and Banks comes back to the football for a catch. Looks by Rasheed Bailey on the Harris touchdown.
That was a confident throw from Dane Evans, stepping into that deep curl and delivering a strike.
But it's 3rd and 1. David Watford comes in, and a couple of touchdown sneaks last week. Remember the goal line stand for Winnipeg. Needs a yard. Straight ahead, and I'm not sure. Not a big surge behind Mike Filer and Darius Scirocco. Ticats again were not stopped on a 3rd down gamble this year.
Well, it was almost inside of a yard, and that initial push, you have to give a yard in the Canadian Football League. It goes just off the right side. Behind Mike Filer, the center, and Darius Scirocco. It's going to be very close in this measurement.
Yardsticks out. They're short. 3rd turnover of the first quarter. And that Blue Bomber front has come up with yet another stop. The big goal line stand to get them here. And another big defensive stand here. Bringing home a Grey Cup to Winnipeg as a special meeting for a couple of the local products for the Blue Bombers. Here's Sarah Orleski.
Absolutely, Chris. There's no shortage of excitement for this game, and that includes the high school of Oak Park. Now, they held a pep rally on Friday. Not only shows their support for the Bombers, but 3 players on the Bombers that graduated from their football program. Andrew Harris, Nick Dembski, and Brady Oliveira. Now, Oliveira's been injured for most of the season, but Harris and Dembski have both spoken about the desire to bring the cup back to Winnipeg. Dembski's most vivid playoff memory was 2011, freezing in the stands, he said, when Chris Garrett broke out for 190 yards on the ground and the Bombers defeated, of all teams, the Ticats. And Harris has made no secret since signing with the team in 2016 that one of the big reasons was to help his hometown end the drought.
Oak Park's got a touchdown already in the game. Collaros under duress. Jagarrett Davis chasing him, but gets it out, and Harris ducked under a tackle, makes a second man miss, and is able to advance it close to the 40 when it looked like they might lose yards.
Zach Collaros does a great job when he spills the pocket of creativity. He's just keeping his eyes downfield and trying to find a target. It breaks down for him. He wanted to go to Darvin Adams on that short corner route, the deep throw, but it broke down on him. He spilled the pocket and got it out to his relief valve, and Andrew Harris, who does the heavy lifting after that.
70 catches during the regular season. There's Jagarrett Davis in his 4th consecutive Grey Cup. Winner last year with Calgary. Short drop. Collaros over the middle, incomplete. Looked like it was intended for Lawler. Mike Miller was in the area, but the punt team comes on. First incompletion for Collaros after 6 straight.
There is your special teams player of the year, Frankie Williams.
And I think what's amazing about that, Suits, played it just about every snap on defense, too.
Absolutely. All-star in the corner.
Fields this around the 28th. And Williams with a decent return up across the 45. Let's go down to the sidelines on the Hamilton side for Matthew Shinetti.
Guys, Brandon Banks has been through so much in this MOP season. Last year, he had 9 pins in a plate inserted into his left shoulder blade, and in the offseason during a workout, that shoulder blade actually turned. The blade actually turned, causing his shoulder blades to be uneven. The plate causes so much discomfort when he sleeps and when he is trying to play, when he puts his pads on. And last week, I asked him, when he made that touchdown grab, how did you feel? He said, I'm running on adrenaline, guys.
Smallest guy in the league, but maybe as tough as anybody. And Evans shows you a strong arm, and he got it to Banks. And Brandon Banks has his 3rd catch of this opening quarter, and close to another first down.
Yeah, so tough to handle Brandon Banks because he's become an all-around receiver. I mean, he's got the speed. It's in his nickname, Speedy B. And that is already a challenge for defensive backs, in this case, Mike Jones. But he gets you out of your back pedal so quickly. You've got to protect against the deep ball against number 16, and that's when he breaks his route off.
Actually, 4 catches for Banks, all 4 completions for Evans, who sneaks off the left side for the first down.
So it's quite the chess match when you look at Tommy Condell calling the offensive plays for Dane Evans in the huddle up against Richie Hall, the defensive coordinator for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. And what does Hall try and do to try and contain Brandon Banks? You can double team him, but that would leave Braylon Addison in a one-on-one.
Final play of this opening quarter, and it's Addison taking the pinch, and he'll run for another first down. So the Ticats getting some traction here in the late stages of the first quarter.
Here's to the everyday things that end up being everything. Here's to all things simple, with casual clothing and footwear from Marks.
Teams that have won the turnover battle in the Grey Cup have won 23 of the last 24 games. Turnovers the story of that first quarter.
Well, they came fast and furious for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Great play on the defensive side, a turnover on downs, an interception, a strip by Willie Jefferson. But as important as the turnovers are, the points off them matter as well. And of the 3 turnovers, Winnipeg scored the 1 touchdown. It feels like Hamilton has settled down a little bit. Dane Evans looked better as the quarter went on.
Good news for the Ticats. They lost the turnover battle 5 times this year. They went 4-1. They got a first down into Winnipeg territory at the Bomber 39. Here comes that big rush. And incomplete. They tried to screen it inside to Addison.
Right now, both tackles for the Hamilton Tiger Cats are having problems containing the two defensive ends for Winnipeg. Willie Jefferson, we already talked about. That's your defensive player of the year. But you better not fall asleep on Jackson Jeffcoat on the other side.
2nd and 10. Mercy Maston soaring blitz. Here he comes. Evans underneath and incomplete. Luke Tasker broken up by Marcus Sales.
Great close by the Bomber halfback. 3 interceptions on the season. Stays in the hip pocket of this crossing route from Luke Tasker. Tasker had a tough year with injuries. That's a great strip. Outstanding defense by Marcus Sales.
Ohio surveys a 47-yarder. But the same as what Medlock just missed. Hairolahu does not. And it's now a 2-point Winnipeg lead. Never been a season, regular season for Hamilton like 2019.
Yeah, record breaker. Orlando Steinauer led the team to 15 wins, and if not for a miraculous blocked field goal against Calgary, they win 12 of their last 12, including the playoff game against the Edmonton Eskimos in the East Final. The caretaker.
We're always uncomfortable with that term, but he wants to be called the caretaker.
Well, both these fan bases, boy, it's been a long time coming, and you can tell that both can actually taste the championship. Good start defensively for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. They're on point there, making it very tough for that Hamilton explosive offense.
Bombers out for the kick return. And it will be Nick Taylor from the 6. And they fake the reverse. And Taylor back to about the 28. Could have started at the 35, but with Janarian Grant back there, they'll take their chances.
Matt Nichols started the season, was injured. At that time, Zach Collaros was playing on a different team. He started the very last game of the regular season for Winnipeg, that against the Calgary Stampeders. They had a bye in the final week, so a bye before the playoff round. But he's gone 3-0 with the Bombers, and that explosion play is back in that offense.
And up inside, and Harris lowers his shoulders and he pounds close to a first down.
Well, 2 things from Andrew Harris. He's running hard. He knew that was going to happen. But I like the way he's protecting the football as well. He felt contact at the end of this run, got good blocking up front, and as he did, he protected the football with both hands.
Won a cup as a rookie with BC in 2011. Looking for his second. 10-yard rush for Harris. First down, Collaros. Got a connection. Kenny Lawler's got it.
Now, we haven't seen it yet in this game, but throughout the playoffs and throughout the season, we've seen the Strev package. That's Chris Strevler, who on cue is going to come in, run the offense, and he's the running quarterback in the system.
It's interesting that they sent him in here because it was a first down. There was a delay as if maybe it was going to be second and short, which is automatic, but they're going to get him into the game anyway.
Well, usually he starts in that short yardage formation, and then they leave him in as the series continues, but give him a shot now.
The story in the West Semi. And he's going to throw. And on a roll, he has a connection. And Lawler's got another catch. That's the first completion for Strebler in the postseason.
Well, he completed 67% of his passes in the regular season when he came in as the starter for Matt Nichols. So he can throw the football. Nice comeback route, an 11-yard gain by Kenny Lawler.
82 yards rushing in the Western semifinal here under the icy conditions of a couple of weeks ago. 3 straight first downs. They take the jet sweep in. Strebler straight ahead. And there's an example of why he puts defenses in a bind. First contact, and he still gets 5 or 6.
Well, Paul LaPolice, the offensive coordinator, Chris, does a couple things to put the defense in the bind. One, he's got Nick Dembski running on that fly sweep motion. That widens the defensive line, and then he runs Strebler or Andrew Harris between the tackles. So you're almost trying to pick your poison if you're playing defense against that run system. Let's go.
Just limped off. He's been having ankle or foot problems for weeks now. But we'll see him again. 2nd and 4. Harris releases, takes the pass, and Andrew Harris has got a first down. Yards after catch for 33, who had 70 receptions during the regular season.
Andrew Harris is feeling it. You can see it. And he's going to get the ball more as this game goes on because he's in that zone. He set up the Hamilton defense and tacklers by lowering his pad level in the first few runs, and then that time he makes a move in the open field. Maybe his best move is the spin move, and we're sure to see that tonight, but he loves that stiff arm.
7 touches, 41 yards for Harris so far. First down. Polaris unloading. He wants Dembski. And a great play by the safety, Tunde Adeleke, to break it up.
Eastern All-Star at safety, Tunde Adeleke makes a big play on the deep ball. A great conversation with him during the week, and told me that it was his high school coach at St. Francis Xavier, Coach Jennings, that first of all treated him as a person first and a player second, taught him the fundamentals. I think this guy's going to be a starting all-star safety in the league for years to come. That's a tremendous play, winning the jump ball over Dembski.
Former Stamp in his 3rd consecutive Grey Cup game. 1-1. 2nd and 10. And that screen out of the reach of Harris. And the drive stalls.
I think just Dylan Wynn and that push from the interior of the defensive line, it forced Zach Collaros to try and throw it around and over the rush, and that just floated the football. Watch the push up front by number 98 in the middle of your screen. He's going to get that great push up the middle, and Dylan Wynn's had an all-star season, and it just forces Collaros to throw it around the rush.
The Medlock miss in the first quarter, his first after 20 consecutive and 12 straight in the postseason. From 45 out, he doesn't miss 2 in a row very often. 11th meeting between Winnipeg and Hamilton in the Grey Cup game. Bombers have won 6. Dane Evans starts at the 35. Pressure coming again, and he is dropped this time. It's Drake Nevis, the defensive tackle, and a Fords Highcat who gets home.
Working on Sirocco up front. Drake Nevis, 3 sacks in the regular season. He's in that 4-point stance, that track stance. Gets out of that quickly and just rips that right arm underneath. It's supposed to be a screen, so the front offensive line is taking a 2 count and then releasing. That was too quick.
2nd and 17, back at the 28. More time for Evans. Underneath it goes. And Kyrie Wilson tracks down Brandon Banks.
A I tell you right now, that Winnipeg front four, well, let's say it's the front seven, is dominating this football game. Whether they're trying to run screen draw, which is how you counter a good pass rush. You go screen draw, or you're trying to hit these crossers, trying to move it down the field in second and long. The line is forcing Dane Evans off his launch point.
First game for the explosive Janarian Grant against Hamilton. There he is on the return. This is what he can do. Across midfield and down to the 50-yard line. 3 touchdown returns of punts. The leading punt returner in the Canadian Football League. Canadian Football League lost a very important man last week. Ed Jalupka played 100 games over 7 years with the Ticats and a Grey Cup winner in 1972, but also the head of the Canadian Football League Players Association, managing director of the Canadian Football Hall of Fame, and a vice president of football operations for the Canadian Football League. Ed did it all, and our condolences are extended to his wife, Rosemary, and the Jalupka family. After the return by Grant, Bombers starting on the Ticat side of half. And an open target, there's Darvin Adams, who rolls out just short of the first down in the break. My partner said it feels like it's Darvin Adams' time.
Well, it does, because right now the Bombers can put their foot down a little bit. Here's Darvin Adams. They move him into the slot back position. He's usually the wide out to the short side, but he gets a little more room to run that out route. Nice 8-yard gain. He's been the guy for Zach Collaros on the deep ball. Explosion plays in both playoff games were crucial in those wins.
10 catches, 198 yards, and a big touchdown here at McMahon in the 2 playoff games. Comes up a couple yards short, so Chris Strebler back in. And he'll try the left side, and Strebler will run for first down. 6'1", 216. He's alone.
And they'll leave Strebler out to continue the series.
6th in rushing during the regular season. Top quarterback running the football. Seven snaps last week against Saskatchewan. Didn't really put a dent in the Riders' defense. Harris, big hole, second level, and down to the 17-yard line. The safety, Adeleke, with the tackle, but Harris having a huge first half. That's 22.
Patty Neufeld is going to make the key block, number 53 up front. He is the guard on the offensive line, and he gets that down block to open things up for Andrew Harris, just taking Dylan Wynn and driving him to the ground.
Neufeld traded by Saskatchewan just before the 2013 Grey Cup. And the ball into the end zone, and it's caught! Touchdown! Andrew Harris in traffic.
Don't know that you can cover it any better, but Andrew Harris was the leading rusher and the best tailback in the Canadian Football League, catching the ball out of the backfield, and he makes a beauty right there on the Ticat logo. Rico Murray in the chase position, and Andrew Harris finds the football.
4 rushing touchdowns, 4 receiving touchdowns in the regular season. 1 rushing touchdown, 1 receiving touchdown here in the first half.
Boy, has it been a challenging year for Andrew Harris. Suspended for 2 games. Came back, and he's on a mission tonight.
Conference good. 4 plays, 50 yards.
This is his first CFL action.
Frankie Williams.
Ho!
The
Good to see Frankie Williams, but clearly the edge in this game in this first half so far on defense and the teams in the line of scrimmage has been the play of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. They're just a step ahead right now.
It's one of the global players, the former Potsdam Royal. And does he make an impact? Well, the Ticats start inside their 25. Good start here. Braylon Addison has a first down. And finally dropped at the 40.
Andrew Harris, 5 catches so far in this first half. He's got 9 for 80 yards of offense and a touchdown, coming out of the backfield and making a nice catch in traffic. He's a man on a mission tonight.
Addison, the first reception by a Ticat other than Banks. First down, Hamilton. And that one almost picked off. Mike Jones jumped it. Got a hand on it.
Just a little late on the release. Dane Evans wants to throw it as Banks, I believe, was the intended receiver coming out of his break, and that gave Mike Jones a chance to close on the football, and he's going to come downhill on this one. When Evans had to slide over in the pocket a little bit, negotiate it, it took a little bit of the timing away. Mike Jones had the better crack at it.
And only in the CFL, Mike Jones might be covering Mike Jones here. There's a Mike Jones on either team. And that ball on the turf, they're ruling incomplete. Bombers trying to get on it, but the whistle has sounded. And a demonstrative Andre Prue, but this Bomber defense is getting after Dane Evans, and this time it was Stephen Richardson.
Rolling on the field was an incomplete pass. The ends went forward. Incomplete pass.
Dane Evans' arm going forward when the ball is knocked out. So that will be incomplete.
Mike O'Shea might disagree with this.
It's going forward though, Chris, I think, and it hit the back of his helmet, which is why I think O'Shea, looking from the sideline, probably thought that it might be worth a challenge.
No challenge though. It's a line drive punt. Grant will scoop it up at the 33. 39-yard punt brings it back about 7. And the momentum with the Bombers, a 12-point lead in the football here with just over 4 minutes remaining in the opening half. Bomber Nation has traveled well. Calaro starts at the 41. And the sweep to Dembski. Finds a crease. Got a block from Adams. And back into the Ticat side of the field. That multiple Bomber offense, and it's Dembski for 23.
When Zach Colaros first sat down with us when he was a Winnipeg Blue Bomber, I asked him, what do you think of the talent you have around you? You know, guys like Darvin Adams, Andrew Harris. The first guy he mentioned before I talked about anybody was Nick Dembski. He said, I didn't know he was that fast. I didn't know he was that good of a football player. Nick Dembski is a player. Great change of pace runner in that offense. Andrew Harris and Nick Dembski.
The Oak Park boys. Here's Harris. More running room for Harris. And down around the 38-yard line. So 9 for Harris. Tuckle and Brooks the tackle. But Andrew Harris is providing big first down yardage. That'll get Strebler back into the game. And they're calling the 3-minute warning.
You got my back! You got my back! I got your back! You got my back! I got your back! You got my back! I got your back! All right, let's go then, baby. Win! 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 Bombers on 3, 1, 2, 3. Bombers!
I'd say Andrew Harris is ready.
Boy, is he playing like it. closing in on 100 yards of offense all by himself. And Winnipeg hasn't even gone to play action yet. Excellent success on first down. Over 10 yards on first down so far in the first half.
10 touches, 87 yards, 2 touchdowns. Second and short. Straddler's going to get that with room to spare. Simone Lawrence trips him up. Double tight end formation here. And a fake to Harris. Straddler again. Crashing off the left side and down to the 30.
Well, I'm excited, partner, about Keith Urban, and stick with me on this one, but a great offensive coordinator is kind of like a great songwriter. There are essentially 12 notes in Western music, but it's how you put those notes together to make a great song. For an offensive coordinator, there's 12 players on the field, but it's how you put them and how you arrange them that makes a great offense. And right now, Paul LaPolice got his guys rolling. He hasn't even gone to play action where he fakes it to Andrew Harris and tries to go over the top. Mark Washington's got to make some adjustments at halftime.
Looking for a stop here. 2nd and 6. Colaro's back in and gets that complete. Coming back for the football, Drew Wolotarski with his first catch of the night. Fastball from Colaros.
Now it's a laser. And right now you get the feeling that the Hamilton Tiger Cats feeling that pressure, and then all that pressure on the defense to try and hold the Bombers to a field goal attempt here, where this one starts to get a whale.
Last 2 cups for Hamilton. They got behind 17-0 in BC in 2014, and of course they got run over at Mosaic in 2011.
Tunde Adeleke there, the safety for Hamilton, was trying to change the play on defense, trying to get that communicated to the rest of his group. And then Zach Colaros, I know he thought he had something.
Winnipeg, the whole line move without the ball being snapped. This is a 5-yard penalty. We're going to replay first down.
Colaros had him. He had him in a look that he wanted. Adeleke was trying to change it to counter the look, and Zach couldn't get it snapped. He's out there at the bottom of your screen, and they were going to direct snap to Dembski.
2013 Saskatchewan hosting the Ticats. Colaros with another completion. That is Rasheed Bailey the catch. He dropped around the 22-yard line.
Big down right here for the Hamilton defense. And they have been under pressure in this one. Lost their defensive end, Julian Hauser.
And now Dylan Wynn's got to come out for 3 plays. And what a season he has had at defensive tackle.
11 sacks from that interior tackle position. Outstanding year. But this is a big down for Mark Washington. I know we've got a half to play. A lot can happen in Canadian football, as we all know, but there's a handful of plays that make a difference. I would suggest this is one of them. Does he go with full pressure?
There's head athletic therapist Claire Toffelmeyer, who was out onto the field to tend to Dylan Wynn. Looks like he'll be okay. As you mentioned, Suits, big 2nd down play here. Just outside the red zone. As the Bombers try to pad a 12-point lead.
Deep set by Andrew Harris.
Empty it out. Crosser underneath. It is Bailey. And Bailey is brought down around the 12. That's close to a first down. It looks like they're got enough.
Another hit song by Paul LaPolice, because he gets Andrew Harris out of the backfield to help down the field and set a pick that's not called and not seen. Andrew Harris is going to come out. He's an empty backfield there, so Zach Colaros can dump it to Bailey on the crossing route. And just to the left of your screen, you didn't see it, but the man trying to get to Bailey was cut off by Andrew Harris.
3rd red zone. only were in the red zone once in the 2 playoff games. And a pass to the goal line incomplete. Wanted Darvin Adams, and Carriel Brooks was there in coverage.
Carriel Brooks got his hand in there and knocked it away. Darvin Adams doesn't drop that one.
So 2nd and 10. Clock stopped with 40 seconds remaining. Here comes the safety blitz. Calero's got it away. Adams the catch. And a flag comes down. Adams dropped short. Brooks again on the tackle. Let's check the flag.
It's going to be holding against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Likely to decline that. Buck Pierce, quarterback coach on your right. I love what Mike O'Shea said. We've got the toughest quarterback room by far, no question, with Buck Pierce, Zach Caleros, Chris Strebler, Matt Nichols, and Sean McGuire.
It's a good room, and we should emphasize the input and contribution from Matt Nichols as well.
Offside. Winnipeg, number 89. That penalty's declined. Holding. Winnipeg, number 62. That penalty is declined. The ball will be placed where it went dead at the 9-yard line and a 3rd down.
Cody Speller was called, but penalty declined. Field goal unit comes on. And the Ticats will get the football back one last time in this first half.
That's a big stop. It's a big stop to hold Winnipeg out of the end zone, not give up a major, and all the momentum to the Bombers going in at halftime. When you're reeling like Hamilton is right now, you're looking for anything, and that's a little bit of momentum to hold them to a field goal attempt here by Medlock. Although it is Michael O'Shea, and they are in plus territory.
But I'm sure he just wants the 3 here, but you never know.
You never know with O'Shea. But that is the right decision. Take the points for sure going in at halftime.
O'Shea by 15 against his old buddy, former teammate, Orlando Steinauer on the other side.
I think different styles outwardly, but when they're in their rooms and they're talking to their teams, very similar approaches. Honest, upfront, tell it like it is, get the best out of their guys. Quite a journey for both. Great friends.
So what does Hamilton do in the late stages of this first half? They start with Tyrell Sutton. Nice run all the way to midfield, and with 6 seconds to go.
Now you take a shot. Now you not a shot at the end zone, but you take a shot at an intermediate throw, maybe 15 yards if you're efficient here. Dane Evans got to get a snap though.
Yeah, they've got to be very efficient.
They're going to blow it in right now. Get that out on a quick out. Might get a chance to kick a long one. Too long.
But it comes down to this. Take a shot. Underneath for Acklund. And he is contained, and clock runs out on him. Thought they might take a shot, but they run out of time in the opening half.
Adjustment time for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Team with 15 wins in the regular season, reeling after that first half. That was all Bombers.
Welcome back to Calgary as we get set for the second half of the 107th Grey Cup, presented by Shaw. I think a lot of people are stunned by what we saw in that first half.
That was great.
And by what we saw at halftime. But let's go back to the football game, and a huge first half for Andrew Harris, but also a big first half suits with the pressure up front by the Winnipeg defense.
Yeah, when you take a look at that first half, first of all, let's start with the line of scrimmage, because you've heard many, many times the game is won and lost on the line of scrimmage. This is an all-star group of offensive linemen for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and the Winnipeg D-line dominated. From the interior, Drake Nevis, plays by Jackson Jeff Coden, Willie Jefferson. At times they'd send linebackers. Convo got involved, Theodric Hansen involved. But that D-line dominated in the first half for the Bombers.
Second half.
If you're cheering for the Ticats, a couple of pieces of encouraging news. They came back from 15 to beat BC, from 13 at halftime to beat Toronto, and against Winnipeg this year in 2 games, they allowed only 9 second-half points.
Football's all about adjustments, and we'll see what Orlando Steinauer has for this second half and what Tommy Condell has to try and slow down that Winnipeg pass rush.
Where the Bombers won the toss, deferred. They'll get the ball here first in the second half, and that wind has diminished to really not being a factor now at this juncture. It was gusting over 30 clicks an hour at kickoff, now under 10. Which drought ends tonight? Iralahu boots it. Nick Taylor's going to field it. Bring it back across the 35. And now bubbles back, but might have something. Iralahu flushed it back inside. Good return by Nick Taylor. And here comes the star of the first half offensively.
So the Bombers won the line of scrimmage on defense. They also did on offense in that first half. You know they did when you see the numbers for Andrew Harris, who had close to 100 yards of offense in the first half and 2 touchdowns. They opened up the holes up front. Here's his first score. Taking on the tackle from the secondary and finding the end zone. Then came out of the backfield, made a nice catch for his second touchdown of the first half. He is eligible for the MVP of this game, and right now he's the front runner. Lots of football to be played.
Jay Lang had taken a knee and getting attention, so a brief delay here. Lang, one of the great special teamers for the Ticats in his 5th year out of St. Mary's. While we got a chance, let's salute the Calgary Dinos, the Vanier Cup champions yesterday. 27-13 over the University of Montreal. And also congratulations to Steve Simmons and Larry Tucker, inducted this morning into the Football Reporters of Canada Hall of Fame. Starting at the 44 and starting with 33. And again lowers the shoulder against Adeleke, and he powers his way for close to 10 again.
Heard Andrew Harris at halftime talking to Sarah Orleski on the sideline and saying, we are going to fight for every inch. They understand the big playability of the Hamilton Tiger Cats, but Andrew Harris said it at halftime, and now he's showing you what he means. He is going to fight for every single inch. He gets 9 yards here, but he had to take on half the Hamilton defense to get the final 2 on the run.
Led the league with an average of 6.1 per carry. He's averaging over 10 yards a rush so far tonight. Just short of the first down, so Strebler time. And a direct snap, Darvin Adams going to throw to Strebler in the flat. And Terrell Brooks didn't read the play, but Strebler's got a catch, and Paul LaPolice deep into the playbook again.
Oh, yeah. Direct snap to Darvin Adams, who at times will line up, and just in case there's a fumble up front, Adams right in the middle of your screen, but it goes through the legs of Chris Strebler, and then he becomes the target out into the left side of the formation. A 13-yard gain as Paul LaPolice, as you mentioned, he's deep in that playbook now.
Strebler, a touchdown pass, a catch, a couple of rushes. And Colaro's back in, and they keep feeding the ball to a guy that's got a hot hand. Not going to be denied. Justin Tuggle with the tackle, but again, big first down production. 9 more.
13 Division All-Stars for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, just 5 for Winnipeg. They're playing with a chip on their shoulder. Look at the guys up front. Just take on their man, open up the hole. Pat Neufeld's having a fantastic game at right guard. Another drive-in block. Andrew Harris isn't finding first contact until he gets into the linebacking core and sometimes the secondary.
Mentioned that trade for Neufeld as Strebler sneaks again. In 2013, just before the trade deadline, when he knew he might be playing for a home team in the Grey Cup for Saskatchewan, he gets traded to Winnipeg, couldn't even bear to watch the game. It's his chance tonight to finally win a Grey Cup.
Boy, and he's playing up front against Ted Laurent and Dylan Wynn, two of the best in the business at defensive tackle. And Andrew Harris and that offensive line for Winnipeg, they're winning the line of scrimmage.
Told me yesterday, Dylan Wynn makes you raise your game. Strebler back in, 1st and 10. And a great fake, trying to get the edge. And take it down, strong tackle, Rico Murray. And Strebler took a lick. Frankie Williams also.
Frankie Williams just sacrificed himself to make a play. He took it upon himself here to lower his shoulder. He had Strebler and Escorts coming outside. I mean, he's got some blocking help. Watch 37 come flying in there and without any regard for his well-being just throws it in there against Strebler, who's got full run, full speed to try and get his defense fired up.
So the starting corner and also the return man for Hamilton injured. Strebler feeling the effects. We'll be right back. So Frankie Williams making his way to the sidelines. And Jamal Roll will check into the game.
He'll play that wide side corner.
2nd and 7. Pump from Collaros. Downfield, and Wolotarski can't hang on. And Jamal Roll, pressed into service, makes a defensive play right off the bat.
Yeah, you got to be prepared. You don't know when your number is going to be called, and it's press coverage for Jamar Roll, who actually led the secondary in interceptions this year with 5 on the season, but a rotation player coming in as the extra DB.
And 3 of the interceptions
against Winnipeg in 2 games, yes.
Tiger Cat teams deep at just about every position. So it's 3rd down. Medlock in. And the special kick ball is brought in. Banks in the end zone in case. Well, Medlock missed and Banks didn't run it out. One of the reasons that was the case, Hamilton was a man short on that missed field goal by Medlock. From 39 out. It's 24-6, and now beyond a 2-score lead. Well, it's go time for this Ticat offense.
Well, they love the explosion play during the regular season. 21 times over 30-yard plays for Dane Evans, 18 to Brandon Banks and Addison. Can he get that going?
Comes out dealing, got Banks, but a great play by Mike Jones stepping up from his corner spot, and Banks slow to get up after his 6th catch.
Problem with those explosion plays, or the lack of them, has been that Dane Evans has not had the time, so they go to the quick passing game, get Brandon Banks out in the flat here, but a big hit from Mike Jones, and Brandon Banks a little slow to get up. Right on that hip.
Banks to the sideline, 2nd and 5. Wide receiver set. And it's Axel in the catch and got away. Jalen Acklin has a first down near midfield. 12-yard pickup for Acklin.
So Chris, Tommy Condell, offensive coordinator, in there trying to make adjustments. So the first adjustment you see in the second half is getting the ball out of Dane Evans' hands quicker. So he's not bouncing around in the pocket and allowing that pressure to get to him. Those are two quick throws.
Second catch for Acklin. Now Tyrell Sutton, who had great first half success. Second level, and Big Hill will drag him down, but Sutton puts a dent into the defense and is taken down at around the 32-yard line. That's 23 for Tyrell Sutton.
Good running game will get that defensive line for Winnipeg peeking into the backfield. It'll slow the pass rush.
Right back to him, this time up in. Ran into a blocker. Jeff Coates Nevis are there defensively.
The Jake Goddard nominee for the Hamilton Tiger Cats is Mike Filer. He's number 51, the middle of your screen, and he makes the big block on the Tyrell Sutton play just a couple of plays ago. He's out in that second level on Adam Bighill. That springs Sutton. Bighill recovers and catches him before he scores.
Derek Jones checks into the defense. Is down a winner of 5 Grey Cups with Edmonton. Second and 10. Gunned underneath, and Mike Jones comes back to make the catch. That's his first of the game. And a first down grab. Well, let's call it just short of a first down. That's going to be 3rd and inches.
Bombers got to stop with 3rd and short in the first half.
Just have to pierce the 25, and Evans, I don't know. Close. Did he? Had to get across the 25. And the Bombers think they've come up with another stop.
There's going to be a measurement for sure. Evans doesn't like the spot.
Adam Bighill already running off the field. Yardsticks come on, but based on where they were aligned, they had to break the 25-yard line. The ball is on the 25.
No shot. Didn't get there.
Second time tonight. 4th turnover of the night. What a thrill this is to have Keith Urban with us. You look like you were competing for the Grey Cup. You might get to take the cup home after that.
Oh, Chris, I don't know about that.
It was great.
This has been a fun game to watch, though, because it's a first for me. So.
But you are a football fan.
Yes, but I'm getting a crash course in CFL tonight.
Yep. So what do you think?
Incredible. Yeah. I mean, this is the best view in the house, of course.
It's pretty good.
So you guys you get a good one.
Keith, outstanding performance at halftime.
Man.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Unbelievable. Hey, I know you have a history with Canada and this city. One of your first big concerts was at the Saddle Dome. Yeah, you have a relationship with this city already.
Very much. And the crowd tonight was amazing. So, yeah, I love playing here.
And it wasn't minus 10 or 15.
No. I was ready for that, too.
Just stick with us as Zach Caleros on a roll, and he'll get pushed up by Simone Lawrence.
Some good advertising for that guy. What did he knock down there? Fisherman's Friend?
Hey, thanks for bringing...
It's a Fisherman's Friend. See, it is surprisingly strong. Curiously strong.
Thanks for bringing Carrie with you as well tonight. That was fun.
Yes, yes, her avatar was present tonight.
So, Keith, I understand that you have some new music coming down the pike pretty soon.
Yeah, we're working on quite a bit. It's going to be coming out throughout next year, and then a new album at some point.
And a new Christmas song, too,
yes.
Did I hear?
Yes. I should sing Happy Birthday to you, though.
Second and 11, they send Heat. Woltarski on the slant with the catch, but short of the first down. Ticats get a stop, but the punt team will come on.
One of the great aspects of our game, Keith, is that every player on offense can be in motion. The field is so wide, so it opens up the game for a lot of passing and big plays down the field.
And then tell me about the Rouge.
Yes, a single point if you miss the field goal.
Got it. Okay.
We had one tonight.
It's a different thing in the band locker room.
So I've got a couple rapid-fire questions for you, if I can. Okay. First of all, I know you're friends. I know you've recorded together. You're a great guitar player.
Thank you.
Love your guitar. Who's the better guitar player, you or Brad Paisley?
Oh, we're night and day. We're Pepsi and Coke. We're very different.
Okay. The other one is, for me, is if you could pick one of the songs from your library, what's your favorite?
I have different ones for different reasons, but I mean, I'm grateful for the ones that stick around, you know, and I've been very fortunate to have a few of those. So it's great to see the ones everyone sings along with live, too.
I'm coming to Country Thunder. You're coming back to Calgary,
yes, sir.
aren't
Yes,
you?
I am. Be a little bit warmer than tonight, but maybe not. You never know with Calgary, right?
August of 2020, Keith Urban is coming back to Calgary for Country Thunder.
Good to see Frankie Williams on that return, so he's okay. And so is Braylon Addison with a nice run up the middle across midfield and into Winnipeg territory. That's crossing the 55-yard line, which you probably haven't seen before.
Definitely haven't seen that. It's not a phrase I hear.
So we're gonna introduce you to color analysis.
Okay.
So on this next play, Dane Evans is the quarterback for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and let's see. You break it down for us and tell us what you're seeing here.
What am I seeing?
In the shotgun.
Okay.
Little motion. That's that unlimited motion you can put together in Canada.
And a catch for Ackland. Down around the 43, that's close to 9.
It moves quick, doesn't it?
Yes,
it's about as quick as we were getting ready to play.
Hey, we had a question for you. Both teams have to do extensive scouting. Do you scout halftime shows to get ready for what you're going to deal with here at McMahon?
I love that we could play a lot last night right here. We did several run-throughs last night. It was great to get a feel for the stadium, because I've never been here before. This crowd is amazing tonight. Such good energy out there.
Do you sense that you're getting a taste of Canadiana? This is the biggest all-Canadian event every year.
Yes.
And fans from right across the country not only watching on TV, but here at McMahon.
Yeah, it's epic. And it's incredible to be here.
1st and 10. Ticats trying to cut into this lead. Evans with the keeper. Actually bounced off Braylon Addison on the fake. And has 4 yards. This is a big drive for Hamilton. The favorites keep coming into the game.
That's right.
They need to.
Yeah, this is a surprise turnaround for a lot of people, right?
It is. We have a saying that no lead is safe in a football league.
Right. In any
Leads
league,
can disappear in a hurry.
Yeah, I hear you.
I think Luke Tasker dropped that one.
And that doesn't happen very much.
His dad, Steve, played for the Buffalo Bills for
goodness
most of his NFL
Do you think there's some drinking going on in Winnipeg right about now? As opposed to...
Now that's cutting to the chase.
You can guarantee they're celebrating right now. There's still some time to go here. A quarter and a bit to go here. But yeah, it's been a long time. Hey, listen, you set a new you set a new standard, Keith, and it's absolutely fantastic to meet you. I am a huge fan.
Thank you, Glenn.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much, brother.
Got a fake on here. Got a little toss inside. Luke Tasker has a first down. Jesse breaks the tackle with the Ticats. Not going to settle for 3 here. Down by 18.
Well, they're going to keep scrapping. They're going to keep fighting. This is Steel Town at its best. Little fake and scoop underneath to Luke Tasker around the edge, and that may be a touchdown-saving tackle.
12 yards, Jeff Reinbold, the special teams coach, likes that. Evans, short drop, second look. Down to the corner, and Ackland's got the catch.
Is it out?
1st and goal inside the 5.
Come on, look at that.
Take a look at the replay, because Keith Urban,
right on the edge
Keith Urban wants to know. Now, in the NFL, you need 2 feet in.
Right.
In the Canadian Football League, you just need 1. So let's take a look and see if Ackland, on this out route, he gets that right foot down. He got them both down.
Yeah, he did.
19-yard connection, 1st and goal. And a bomber taking a knee. That's Nick Taylor in some difficulty. And Keith, we're going to step aside. What a pleasure to have you in the booth, and everybody across Canada wowed by your performance.
Thank you, Chris. I so appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Keith. And I could tell all my buddies, Keith Urban saying happy birthday.
That's
Unbelievable.
Right. I'll be back next year.
Brandon Alexander moves into his spot. Derek Jones in at safety. 7th play of the drive. Ticats trying to close the gap. Reset from Evans. Here they come. Braylon Addison, touchdown. Got to the corner and in for the Ticat Major. Their first of the night.
Desperate times call for desperate measures, and fake on 3rd down just to keep the drive alive, and all of a sudden Hamilton's got a spark. Braylon Addison swings out. Again, the adjustment made by Tommy Condell to get the ball out of Dane Evans' hands quicker in this second half. That started the drive. That quick throw to Addison caps it off.
Mike O'Shea concerned about a pick on the play, but no flag thrown. And they'll go for 2. Best 2-point convert team in the league. Evans couldn't find anybody initially. Now to the back and broken up. Intended for Acklin, and Kyrie Wilson is able to knock it loose.
What a great second half to the year for Kyrie Wilson. Big play there on the 2-point convert. There's the quarterbacks, 13 of 20, 154. A lot of those yards on that last drive for Dane Evans. Zach Collaros, good first half. Andrew Harris been the story in the first half. Can Tyrell Sutton take some of that spotlight in this second? Brandon Banks banged up.
Touchdown drive, 7 plays, 65 yards. Short kick here. Fielded up across the 35-yard line, and that was a good play by Thomas Miles, the University of Manitoba product, to keep it in the hands of the Bombers.
Let's show you what Michael O'Shea was upset with on this play to Addison coming out on that swing pass. Number 86 coming from the right of your screen. There's Acklin coming down on Mercy Maston, and there's the contact right here. That's a pick and a missed call. Addison gets outside, gets the corner, and scores. But with Hamilton that deep, Mike O'Shea didn't want to use his challenge right there. You only get one.
No big drive here for the Bombers. See how they respond after the Hamilton touchdown. 4 for Harris. Adeleke on the tackle.
Well, because they had the run game going in that first half, they dominated the time of possession. As the panel mentioned, that took some possessions away from Dane Evans, who finally got a bit of a rhythm on that last one. So a long drive here from Collaros goes a long way to taking him back out of it.
Ticats have other plans. They've got Dylan Wynn back in the defense and Frankie Williams as well. 2nd and 6. Dembski was in motion. Pocket collapsing. Open target. And Wolatarski's got a first down. And more down inside the 40-yard line. Been a good night for Wolatarski. 3rd catch, and this one for 26.
Now, I don't want to get Bomber fans mad because I'm going to have to check to see if Addison was behind the line of scrimmage. If he was on that play, on that pick, that was going to be a screen, which is legal to make that play downfield. And this is what Collaros needed to do to take back that momentum. A couple plays down the field, move the chains, take away some momentum from that touchdown drive. It is legal to make that block by Acklin if the ball's thrown behind the line of scrimmage.
Double tight ends. Andrew Harris sidestepped Leon Rush of Malden and is spilled down inside the 35-yard line. Harris up to 78 yards on 9 carries.
A couple of uneasy looks to the clock for Coach Steinauer. The Coach of the Year in the Canadian Football League.
Bombers trying to drain the clock in the 3rd quarter and perhaps add to this lead. Screen getting set up for Dembski. Can he get outside? And he'll get wrestled down short of the first down. It's a good defensive play by Cariel Brooks.
I'm going to go back to that touchdown just to make sure, because I know Bomber fans are wondering. Number 86 is right here. That's Braylon Addison right there. Now let's see if he's behind the line of scrimmage. The line of scrimmage is the 4. The ball is caught at the 10. So that is behind the line of scrimmage. It is legal for Jalen Ackland to come downhill and make that pick. Great play and execution by the Hamilton offense, and O'Shea got the explanation on the sideline, and that's why he didn't challenge.
Call it a 41-yard attempt here. Headlock straight down the middle. 27-12. It'll be a 15-point Winnipeg lead. Heading to the fourth quarter of the 107th Grey Cup game.
Here's to the everyday things that end up being everything. Here's to all things simple, with casual clothing and footwear from Marks.
Ticats off for the kickoff here. Frankie Williams fakes the reverse. And the Bombers not fooled. Mike Jones there with the stick. Mike Miller, the top special teams cover guy, there as well. As we go to the sidelines, here's Matthew Shinetti.
Not good news, CC. Brandon Banks is out. The team is saying it's a lower body injury. We observed him looking at his hip area. He was in a lot of discomfort, went to the locker room. He will not return. Guys.
Huge news and a huge blow for the Tiger Cats. The MOP no longer available.
The MOP, who for that first quarter was really the only target for Dane Evans.
Might lean on Addison, but here's Evans throwing incomplete. Looking downfield for him. Sutton out of the backfield.
Real difference on first down. Dane Evans got in trouble, so now he goes to second and long. And this is where it plays to the hands of a strong Winnipeg defense. Jackson Jeffcoat and Willie Jefferson getting up the field on second and long.
Home crowd sound from the Bombers. Here's Evans downfield, and he's got Jalen Ackland. And Ackland all the way across midfield, stepping up in place of the injured Brandon Banks.
Little action that takes the attention away from this slant throw, this inside dig route, right over the middle, right at the logo, and he's going outside now, Ackland. Pushes Taylor to that outside man, and 35-yard gain over the middle, a big one to get him out of that bad field position.
35 yards, and now Sutton. And Tyrell Sutton with the flag coming down. And he will not be denied. What a great run. Let's see if the flag impacts the play.
Holding Hamilton 84. 10-yard penalty. We're going to replay first down.
That is the first penalty of the night against the Ticats. Nikola Kalinic, the rookie out of York.
Yeah, Kalinic has played that tight end, and he's up against Willie Jefferson, the defensive player of the year. As he's coming around, he comes from that backside. He gets on the shoulder and then turns Jefferson right at the point of attack.
First and 20. It's Addison. Braylon Addison, a quarterback, running back in high school, running back receiver at Oregon, and a guy that is a natural runner, even though he is a tremendous pass receiver in the Canadian Football League.
Now one of the challenges for Dane Evans now is getting in and out of the huddle efficiently. We may even see Tommy Condell, the offensive coordinator, go to hurry-up offense and that tempo game. The clock is the enemy as well.
2nd and 11. Here come the Bombers, but Evans stands in, fires, wants Jones, got him, and he dropped the ball inside the 5. Had it, but couldn't control it as he hit the turf.
Boy, he split the defenders, got in behind Brandon Alexander, the safety, and Mike Jones, the corner, turns. That ball comes out on the way down. Now that's in super slow motion. In real time, ruled incomplete.
And it looked like Mike Jones knocked it out of his hands as he was going down. There's that Mike Jones versus Mike Jones matchup. And Evans nearly had the big home run play that the Ticats need.
And this will be the second Ticat receiver out. Now let's look at it at regular speed, because you've got to have control of the football and survive the contact. It's a strip or a knockdown.
So Banks already out, and you saw Jones grab the left shoulder. And that receiving core getting thinner. Dean Evans, you just saw on target. He's a guy that can stretch the field.
Oh, yeah.
One of the strongest arms in pro football. In fact, only Josh Allen has ever been registered at a higher miles per hour than Dean Evans, who's been clocked at 63 miles an hour.
University of Tulsa, he threw for over 11,000 yards.
And the punt goes out of bounds on the hop outside the 20-yard line. So 12:36 to go. Be some jubilation and some heartache tonight. It's always one of our favorite parts of the Grey Cup game.
I get emotional when that thing comes down. I mean, there's nothing more Canadian than the 107th Grey Cup championship with the Mounties bringing the cup into the building.
November chills here at McMahon. And a lot of Bomber fans trying to get a closer look than they've had for a long time.
Still some work to do.
We should have told Keith the one thing we've got in Canada are trophies you can drink out of. Here's Dembski. And Dembski's got the catch beyond the 50. There's one of those Oak Park guys.
The homegrown Manitoba guys are coming through. Andrew Harris and Nick Dembski. Get out of the hole. Hamilton needed the 2 and out there. Get out of the hole, and Zach Collaros, who's been on this stage before, back in 2014 as a member of the Ticats, is not fazed by the pressure. He lets it go. 41-yarder. Dembski with a nice catch at the top end.
Clutch catch puts the Bombers over 200 passing yards. Winnipeg last in the league this year in passing. That's a rarity for a team to go to the cup as the last place passing team. Part of their success is because of this guy, and he's not going to be denied tonight. Andrew Harris wants to get his hands on that.
Get your attention, get your pictures, get your selfies. And
did you see that one woman's reaction?
And the Winnipeg Blue Bombers want to get their name on it.
Trophy's going to get a standing ovation.
There is plenty of time in this football game, but Hamilton needs to stop, and they need it now.
9 more on first down for Harris, which brings Chris Strebler back into the game. And Strebler break behind Cody Speller. Should be a first down.
Strebler's been playing through the playoffs on the bad ankle, gets up limping after every run and then gets back in there and does it again. And that's why Michael O'Shea said he feels like he has the toughest quarterback room, as you mentioned off the top. That's just a battering ram and quarterback, number 17. Reminds me of our colleague, Matt Dunnigan. Matty could obviously throw it like Zach and run it like Chris Trevor. There he is watching on.
First and 10. And the jet inside to Dembski. Sidestepped one. Got away. And Dembski running for another first down.
They can feel it. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers can taste this. You see it in the jump in their step. You see it in the second effort.
And now Rico Murray slow to get up.
Got to continue to keep their composure. But Jamarcus Hardrick, 4 years with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers at that right tackle position. He's the lead blocker coming out and around for Nick Dembski, who breaks a couple of blocks for tackle.
So two guys from the same high school in Winnipeg have combined for 189 yards and 2 touchdowns in the Grey Cup game. Homegrown. Rico Murray still down. Guy who is playing in his 5th cup, 3rd consecutive. And he gets attention, so we will step aside. 5.5 into the 4th quarter. The wait's been 29 years. Remember that 1990 game? They blew out the Edmonton Eskimos, a game that I thought everybody expected would be close. 2nd and inches, and with a flag down, Strebler sneaks ahead. '30th postseason game for Michael O'Shea as a player, assistant, and now as a head coach.
Offside. Hamilton defensive line. 97. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Ted Laurent lining up in that 1-yard restraining area. Perfect conditions tonight in Calgary. What a week it's been. Are we in for a finish, or are the Bombers going to finish off the Cats here? Strebler to the keeper. Dropped at the 30. So a huge play now for the Ticats. Looking to put a halt to the drive.
Strebler is going to try and work his way off the field here. He's all banged up, but there's a late flag on the play.
Boy, he's been fighting through this for a month, hasn't he?
After the play was over, objectionable conduct. Winnipeg number 17. A 10-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the play, and it will be 2nd down.
Did he react to something that happened at the bottom of the pile and get caught doing it? Strebler's down there at the bottom. That's Dylan Wynn. He didn't like whatever Wynn did to the... Couldn't really see something he said or something he did to his knee. Didn't like that. Draws a penalty.
Oh, makes it 2nd and 17.
Doors open for this Hamilton defense right here.
Making it a tougher field goal attempt unless they get something here. Harris gets back into field goal range, but he's got more. How about Andrew Harris tonight?
Wow.
And he's eligible for all the awards tonight.
Great blocks up front, like he's seen all night, but it's what he does when he gets to the 2nd level. Andrew Harris, look at the hole he's got to run through. That's controlling the line of scrimmage from the O-line, but then he does the rest, bobbing and weaving through the linebacking core, and then just taking the secondary with him, and there's nothing Mark Washington can do about it.
Reminds me of Corey Sheets, 2013, a drop play on 2nd and 19. He got 20. Harris again. Tuckle there to drag him down inside the 10. But Andrew Harris over 100 yards on the night 5 times during the regular season. But a monster night.
Pat Neufeld, Drew Desjardins, Stanley Bryant, Cody Speller up front at center. Jamarcus Hardwick. That's a great D-line in Hamilton. They dominated tonight.
2nd and 5. Just get the play off. Open in the end zone. Bailey, touchdown. Bombers sets it down.
They can taste it.
First Canadian Football League touchdown for Rasheed Bailey.
Mark Washington, this is the call that you're throwing your hands up a little bit, because he sent everybody he's got and left his secondary in one-on-ones with no help in the back end of Rasheed Bailey on the corner route for the touchdown.
6 scores in the last 7 possessions for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Against the #1 ranked defense in the league this year.
Well, and the #1 team with 15 wins. I mean, all of our panel members predicted the Hamilton Tiger Cats at the beginning of the season would be in the Cup. 15 wins, even when they lost Jeremiah Masoli, and Dane Evans continued to progress. But this Winnipeg Blue Bomber team started 5-0. But look, they're going to review this, because did he have control?
And does he trap it? He may have.
Does that constitute control? Every touchdown is reviewed.
The previous play is under review by the command center.
Brooks jarred it a little loose, and is that a trap in the hands of the command center Huron?
Because Bailey jumped for the ball, he's got to survive the contact with the turf on his way down. So he's in the air now when the ball hits his hands, and it's loose going to the ground. This will be interesting.
Well, they can't get better replays. All the evidence is there. Now the command center got to make a decision. Call on the field was touchdown.
And the mandate from about mid-season with the command center is that they have to see a clear and obvious mistake to overturn a call. But I think he trapped it. It looked like, and upon review,
did look like it.
Did he have control? Because he needed to survive contact.
Taking a long time, but let's find out.
I came from the bottom all the way to the top. We're about to win this thing, man. We're waiting all day.
After a review by the command center, the ruling on the field is overturned to an incomplete pass. It will be 3rd down, 6 yards to go from the 10-yard line. 3rd down.
Touchdown comes off the board.
Well, you got to give credit to Brooks, the halfback, on that play to keep hustling and stay with it, because Bailey had this caught at the top of the jump, but that push right there jarred it loose, and then he had to survive contact to get possession, and that's the reaction. But the right call from the command center.
Been a long wait, and they're going to have to wait a little longer.
But still an important field goal.
Yes. And they took a lot of time off the clock and can get it beyond a 2-possession game.
Yeah, this makes it 3-possession game, which is very important, even though it's a chip shot for Justin Medlock.
So it's 30-12. We've seen 2-score leads disappear inside 3 minutes, so 6:12 to go.
And remember, no Brandon Banks for the Hamilton offense.
Addison drops back on the kick return. Ticat's got to empty the tank now. Frankie Williams. Good return, and then a big hit at the end of it. That's Shane Gauthier, one of the heroes last week, a guy who saved a potential game-tying touchdown by Nick Marshall on a punt return.
It's been a physical game. The Bombers have had the edge there. When you win the line of scrimmage, it's because you're more physical. We've seen some big hits on the teams. That's a nice return from Frankie Williams, but Gauthier with a solid hit.
If he didn't track down Nick Marshall last week, they might not be here. Ticat start at the 43. Look out, Willie Jefferson, strip, ball loose, and it looks like Chiraco got back on it. There's number 5 doing what Willie Jefferson does, and Evans has been hurt.
Willie Jefferson with that long reach uses it one more time. He's got the boat on both edges, one coming from the left, one coming from the right. Take a look at the right side, though. The big swim move, getting that right hand and arm up and over, and then around the corner to Dane Evans. Strips the ball one more time with that great swim move. Left hand to the shoulder pad, right hand over the top.
Red was 6 forced fumbles during the regular season, 2 tonight, and Evans got it knocked out of his hands by Jackson Jeffcoat. The bookends on back-to-back plays.
We're seeing the cheetah formation for Winnipeg. Cheetah is their version of all defensive ends in the defensive line, and this time it's going to be Jackson Jeffcoat. His dad, Jim, former Dallas Cowboy, is in attendance, and Jeffcoat with 3-man pressure, all defensive ends, even combo in the middle, pushes upfield. That big reach to get the ball into Dane Evans' hands.
Play as all turnovers or potential turnovers are under review. Jim Jeffcoat's always told his son to be his own man. He has 2 Super Bowl rings, and Jackson's got his eye on a Grey Cup ring here tonight.
I talked to Jackson about his dad during the work week, and he told me, well, my mom Tammy probably pushes me harder. Tammy's one who will watch the games back and say, I need better hustle from the backside. But he said Jim told him, don't be outworked, and this defense has not been outworked tonight.
Those two work out together in Austin, Texas. Jeffcoat and Jefferson. Here's Harris, and he nearly got away. Down at the 15-yard line.
Incredible pedigree. When you take a look at Dad's accomplishments, Jim Jeffcoat, 2-time Super Bowl champion with the Dallas Cowboys, 102.5 career sacks. And son Jackson is this close to his own championship ring.
Former Texas Longhorn. Second and 2, and that's Strebler time. Left side, he's got it again. Sarah Orlesky.
Chris, sticking with the Jackson Jeffcoat and his father Jim, he told me that the comment that he gets most often from his dad, the message, is that big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games.
Kid got the message, didn't he?
He got the message tonight, Sarah. That entire defense did.
You know, we were surprised those ends weren't a huge factor last week, but what a different story tonight. Collaros back in. First and goal from the 11. And Harris dives ahead for one. Molden, the tackle, 2nd and 9.
Been an unbelievable journey, too, for Zach Collaros when you consider where it started this year. Play number 3 as a Saskatchewan Rough Rider. Sat out the entire season.
Hamilton.
You've heard the story by now, but...
Timer put 3 minutes, 11 seconds on the clock. 3:11.
But his veteran presence has been a difference maker in this Bomber team. That takes nothing away from Matt Nichols. They were 5-0 when Matt Nichols was the starter. But Zach Collaros' career is back on track, and it's great to see.
Pride of Steubenville, Ohio. There's his family in attendance. Can you imagine, as a quarterback, learning 3 different offenses in the same year?
That's his wife, Nicole, with the Bomber toque on the left. And Mom Shelley, Dad Dean, and it is great to see Zach back.
Lamented poor 5 plays that may have made the difference 5 years ago to win one for Hamilton. Won't be any regrets tonight, I don't think. Harris, and he gets stuffed. Adeleke stepped up and made the tackle. Just shy of the warning here. And they are going to call the 3-minute warning. Bombers are 3 minutes away. Up by 18 in Medlock, coming on to attempt a field goal. Exactly 3 minutes to go. Bombers have led for 53:04.
The early turnover is just too deep a hole for Hamilton to climb out of. I have the feeling the celebration's already begun in Manitoba.
3 more. Bombers have scored on 7 of their last 8 possessions. You see the joy from the Winnipeg fans, and the coach of the Blue Bombers well aware of what all this means back home.
They talk about their relatives that are moving on in age, and they talk about how important it would be to them and how they're hoping that those relatives get an opportunity to witness it. And that's powerful stuff. That's important. I don't think it can make you play better, but it certainly can make you appreciate why those conversations are started.
Andrew Harris understands that. So does Nick Dembski. But you know what? Jamarcus Hardrick, born in Nebraska, says, I'm a Manitoban now. Everybody on that sideline knows what it means, not just to the team, but to everybody in Manitoba.
And they keep the game face on, of course, for the final 2:41. But a little bit of celebration starting on that Winnipeg bench. And boy, it's been a long time coming, and enjoy it. Bomber fans, been waiting a long time.
Might get the gorilla off their back. Addison. Big return could change the mood, but he's contained. Mike Miller, that special teams ace, comes up with another special team tackle.
Well, just one of the great cover guys in the Canadian Football League, a finalist for the Special Teams Player of the Year. Went to Frankie Williams, but I'm real happy to see a guy like Mike Miller, one of the cover guys, one of the grunt players, those heart and soul unsung heroes, be recognized as a finalist in the Special Teams Player of the Year.
One of 3 Acadia Axemen in the game. Here's Sutton, who's run well tonight. 9 more for Sutton, and he's got 84 in the game. But Evans contained to under 200 yards passing. setting a first down run.
Well, listen, both of these coaches are so similar in building the right culture in their team. Orlando Sinauer has done that with Hamilton. 15 wins in the regular season, a convincing win in the Eastern Final versus the Edmonton Eskimos. He has created that culture. The players love to play for him. He's up front and honest with them. This is a very, very good football team that's got a bright future.
Down he goes. Evans dropped again. Jackson Jeffcoat on back-to-back series.
Well, they're going to play to the final whistle. Like to get all those DNs in, so if you play an extra DN, you can put Jackson Jeffcoat in at tackle. And now he's working on Brandon Revenberg, the outstanding Canadian nominee for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And he blows by him.
5 sacks on the night for Winnipeg. 2nd and 18. Madison the catch. Up at the 50-yard line, and it will be 3rd and 7. So they came into Calgary 2 weeks ago and held the Bo Levi Mitchell Stampeders to 14 points. 13 points all Saskatchewan could muster against Richie Hall's defense. Hamilton's got a dozen tonight. 3rd and 7 to stay on the field. And it's knocked down. Big defensive play. Mike Jones has had a game knocking it away from Anthony Coombs. And it is celebration time.
When you look at that points allowed total that you just mentioned, Chris, no surprise when it's a team built by Michael O'Shea. Richie Hall gets a ton of credit, the defensive coordinator. It has been a very difficult season for Richie Hall. When he lost his brother Michael midway through the season, Richie Hall has coached this team and this defense with a heavy heart all season long.
His work's done.
His work is done. Put the briefcase away. You're a champion again, Richie.
Harris to pad his stats. 5 more. 132 on the ground. 35 receiving.
Timeout.
It just seems
Hamilton.
So fitting that Michael O'Shea's team wins the line of scrimmage, wins the ground game, and plays great defense. That's linebacker football. That's Michael O'Shea football. That's Willie Jefferson football. That's Bomber football this year.
That'll get you a championship belt. No turnovers for Winnipeg in the postseason. Plus 13 in the postseason.
As underdogs, you want to create turnovers and get the favorite thinking about it. They did that out of the gate. First 2 series, Hamilton turned the ball over.
2nd and 5. Harris nailed Jagarrett Davis there to stop that. What do they do on 3rd down here?
We're not done yet. Also mention Nick Dembski one more time. Nick Dembski through the playoffs. There it is. We're not going to wait for that final 31. It's over, baby.
He's going to lead the offense out.
Dembski's played his best football through the playoffs. No question.
I think there's a long list of Bombers that can say the same. 3rd down, they need 6. There's the first turnover of the postseason. And Hamilton will take over. Mike O'Shea's one of those guys, when he played, he knew where everybody was. I think he knew this was coming.
Was he aware that he knew it was coming? A good coach is one step ahead. And the Winnipeg Blue Bombers were tonight.
Pride of North Bay, and I'm not sure there's anybody in the CFL that loves the Canadian game more than Mike O'Shea. This might be the biggest night of his life. Another sack. Although we asked him, hypothetically, would this be the biggest? And he danced around, and his final comment was, still the best to be a player. But this is pretty good for the old middle linebacker.
Well, the entire organization, Wade Miller, down on the sideline from the spotters booth celebrating.
Some emotion there, huh?
Saw Danny McMahon up with him in the box.
2nd and 14, look out! Another punishing hit. Mike Jones, this is, I think, his best game in the Canadian Football League. Closing and sticking Tyrell Sutton. And you know those preseason prognostications?
Yeah, there's Richie.
There's Richie Hall. I'll be the first to pick Hamilton to be back here next year.
The first team to go on the road, the semifinal team, win the 3 games, and be champions since 2005.
3rd and 11. Evans throwing. It's intercepted. It's Mike Jones. What a night for 16. And that allows the Bomber offense to come out and go into victory formation. One more snap in 2019. They have put the win back in Winnipeg. The Blue Bombers, 2019 Grey Cup champions. Three sacks for Big Willie Jefferson. Dean Evans under duress all night long.
There is no question this game was won at the line of scrimmage by the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. They won it on offense on the ground. Zach Collaros chipped in with the passes he needed, and their defense dominated.
Nobody has written a more unique script to be a winning quarterback in the Grey Cup than Zach Collaros, and Richie Hall overcome with emotion.
And so, a win for the W. Welcome to the 2019 Grey Cup Awards and Trophy presentation. To present the awards for Most Outstanding Canadian and Most Outstanding Player, the President of Shaw Communications, Brad Shaw, and your host, James Duthie.
Thank you, Rod. First of all, thank you to Calgary for your passion, your hospitality, and your great weather all week long. The outstanding player of the 2019 Grey Cup from the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, Andrew Harris. For the first time ever, the outstanding Canadian in the Grey Cup is also the outstanding player, Andrew Harris. Andrew, you were 3 years old the last time the Winnipeg Blue Bombers won the Grey Cup. You came back to Winnipeg because you wanted to end the drought for your hometown team. What does it mean to be such a big part of it?
Oh man, it's a dream come true. I mean, part of that game, just envisioning, you want to come do something, you put your mind to it, you set goals, and to accomplish it is, it's amazing. So proud of my teammates, so proud of my city, my friends and family. It's an amazing day today.
You won the Grey Cup in 2011 in your first year as a regular running back. And you said it almost felt like it came too easy. And you said this week the years in between have taught you how hard it is. Does that make this one sweeter?
This is the sweetest thing I've ever tasted in my life right now. So, hey, 204 Peg City, we did it, man.
You had a brilliant season, your third straight rushing title. But I know the 2-game suspension frustrated you, hurt you, angered you. Did it also motivate you because you looked like a man possessed today?
These 2 trophies and that one behind, that's for all the haters that put me down, kick me when I down. All right? So stick both these trophies. You know it.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
Andrew Harris, the most outstanding Canadian and the most outstanding player. Once again, that is the first time the outstanding Canadian has also been the outstanding player in the Grey Cup. And now Winnipeg, the moment you have waited for 29 years. To present the Grey Cup, the Commissioner of the Canadian Football League, Randy Ambrosie.
Well, on behalf of the Canadian Football League, our Board of Governors, and all of our fans, it is my honor and privilege to present the 2019 Grey Cup presented by Shaw to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, Grey Cup champions.